Luke, I am your father. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Pikachu's tail with a black tip. The Monopoly man with a monocle. You remember them clearly, but history disagrees. That unsettling feeling that the world changed and no one told you, you're not alone. This phenomena has a name, the Mandela Effect. A term coined when thousands of people vividly remembered Nelson Mandela dying in prison in the 1980s, even though he didn't. The more you dig, the stranger it gets. Because these aren't isolated misquotes or childhood mistakes, they're shared by millions across cultures, continents, and generations. So what's going on here? Is it a faulty memory? Or are we catching a glimpse of something far more disturbing? Stick around for our very own top 15 Mandela effects of all time and see if you agree with our list.
If your memories aren't yours anymore, then whose timeline are you living in?
You might think this is a modern glitch, something born in the digital age. But whispers of reality shifts go back centuries. Ancient folklore from around the world tells of places that existed one day and vanished the next. The village of Brigadoon, said to only appear once every 100 years. Norse myths spoke of the veil, a thin wall between realms where time flowed differently. Aboriginal Dreamtime stories speak of travellers who stepped outside of time and returned with memories no one else could confirm. Even stranger, the documented cases. In 1593, a bewildered soldier appeared in Mexico City claiming to be from a kingdom that didn't exist, wearing an unknown uniform and speaking a dialect that no one recognized. And sacred texts. Some claim the Bible itself has shifted, that familiar verse now read differently. So are we looking at ancient metaphors? Or has reality always been unstable, only now caught on camera?
If the ancients knew about this, were they trying to warn us all along?
Let's talk about the theories. Because for every strange effect, there's a stranger explanation. And some of them sound like sci-fi, until you realize they might be true. Theory 1, false memory. Psychology tells us our brains can be unreliable narrators. We fill in gaps with assumptions, especially if the world around us seems to confirm what we thought we knew. It's like when you mishear a lyric, but then you find a whole crowd singing it the same wrong way. Theory 2, quantum timelines. According to the multiverse theory, infinite versions of you exist, each in slightly different realities. That moment you had deja vu. That might have been your mind slipping through another version of yourself. Theory 3, simulation theory. What if we're living in a computer simulation and someone is altering the code? Historical updates happen silently. Logos shift. Entire phrases disappear or reappear, like patches in a video game. We do have a video on simulation theory, which we will link to at the end of this. Theory 4, spiritual evolution. Some say humanity is collectively waking up. The Mandela Effect may be an echo of that. Proof that we're remembering things not from this reality, but a higher one, like dreams bleeding into the waking world. You don't have to believe all of them, but one thing's for sure, something is challenging our sense of what's real.
Whatever the reason, are you sure this reality is still your original one?
It's not just happening more, we're noticing more. Online forums, YouTube, TikTok, they're overflowing with new Mandela Effects weekly. It's as if the fabric of our shared reality is unraveling in real time. The more people talk about them, the more examples seem to surface, as if naming the glitch makes it worse. Entire threads now track version changes of logos, movie lines, product packaging, even geography. Just when you think you had it figured out, reality shifts again. Ask yourself, did New Zealand move? Is South America shaped differently? Was the Mona Lisa's smile always that noticeable? And it's not just Gen Z. Boomers, scientists, doctors, teachers, people from all walks of life are saying the same thing. This isn't how I remember it. Something's changed, or maybe we've changed.
If reality is changing more often, who's steering the wheel?
Here's where it gets controversial, and maybe even a little terrifying. In 2015, CERN's Large Hadron Collider fired up to unprecedented levels. That same year, Mandela Effects reports exploded online. Coincidence or cause and effect? Some believe smashing subatomic particles could fracture reality, causing micro black holes, rips in space-time, or dimensional interference. Even scientists admit that we're venturing into the unknown. We don't know what we don't know, one physicist said. And what about the statue outside CERN? Not a scientist or an atom, but Shiva, the Hindu god of destruction and rebirth. Is it symbolic, a warning, or a wink from the powers behind the curtain?
Are we playing with forces we were never meant to understand?
Let's do a quick test. No Googling. Spell Febreze. Did you add an extra E? Does Skechers have a T? Fruit Loops. Is it fruit or fruit? These aren't typos. They're memory glitches. Febreze has one E. Skechers has no T. Fruit Loops was never spelt like the word fruit. Then there's Kit Kat, no hyphen, and yet many remember it clearly. The same goes for brands like Cheez-It, not Cheez-Its, and Double Stuff Oreos. Yes, only the one F. It's not a logo redesign. These companies insist it's always been the way. So what's happening? Are we remembering old packaging, marketing shifts, or something deeper? A reality that keeps slipping out from under us. People have even pulled out decades-old merchandise, swearing the spelling was different. But somehow the evidence never seems to appear, as if reality updates everything at once, leaving no trace behind. Okay, this one here I don't really get and probably haven't experienced for myself, but I thought I would leave it in here for you guys just to see if anybody did have a different memory. Let's talk maps. New Zealand. Some people now place it northeast of Australia, not southeast. And Japan? Way closer to Russia than most recall. What about Cuba? Larger and in a different spot. And then there's South America, once directly beneath North America, now shifted east. Even globe manufacturers have taken notice, but these aren't artistic interpretations. These are official Google and Apple Maps. And it's not just island nations. Entire continents feel off. Africa's size and position has sparked debate. Italy's boot looks too upright for some. And Greenland? Is it really that big? Some remember certain countries not existing at all. Have you ever heard of Tuvalu before 2015? What about Kyrgyzstan? Some Mandela Effect researchers point to obscure nations and territories that suddenly appeared on maps, or at least in public awareness. And for many, the most jarring example isn't size, it's orientation. The world map itself seems subtly rotated or scaled in ways that feel unnatural.
Google searches for geographical Mandela effects tripled in 2015.
Religious texts are considered sacred and unchangeable. So why are people claiming the Bible has changed? Isaiah 11:6 once, "The lion shall lie down with the lamb," now says, "The wolf shall dwell with the lamb." The Lord's Prayer, "Forgive us our trespasses," is now "Forgive us our debts," in many editions. These aren't small revisions, they're massive theological shifts. People raised in church, quoting these lines since childhood, swear that they were never this way. Yet modern printings, and even older ones, seem to reflect the new version. Others point to passages that suddenly seem out of place or oddly worded. Bottles instead of wineskins in Mark 2:22. Matrix used multiple times in the King James Version. Some believers have begun recording their favorite verses, afraid they might change again. Others say they've stopped using digital Bibles entirely, blaming cloud updates or AI translation interference. Could it be translation shifts, Mandela memory, or a force quietly rewriting the spiritual narrative of humanity?
Even if scripture isn't sacred, then what is?
Sometimes the Mandela Effect reveals itself live on air. Sinbad insists he never starred in a genie movie called Shazam, yet fans recall specific scenes and VHS covers. Ed McMahon was never with Publishers Clearinghouse, yet parodies, commercials, and people across America remember him handing out giant checks. These aren't random associations. There are sketches, old talk shows, and interviews that seemingly reference these false memories. Even episodes of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air joke about Ed McMahon delivering checks. So if it's a collective mistake, it's a deeply embedded one. Then there are celebrities who hint at simulation theory or glitches in interviews. Keanu Reeves casually says, "I've seen things change." Elon Musk publicly states there's a 1 in billions chance that we're in a base reality. Chappelle, Rogan, and others weave the Matrix into comedy and podcast discussions, not as fiction, but as possibility. And then there are moments caught on camera, actors freezing mid-interview, looping their words, or glancing off camera as if reacting to something that isn't there. Are these glitches, anxiety, or moments of cognitive dissonance?
When even the people in the timeline look confused, maybe it's time to question everything.
Here's the twist. What if comedy helped rewrite your memory? Tommy Boy, Family Guy, SNL, Shrek 2 all quoted "Luke, I am your father." Mirror, mirror on the wall, repeated in every parody of Snow White. The Simpsons featured the Monopoly man with a monocle. These aren't just jokes, they're cultural reinforcement loops. When we laugh at a parody, it burns into our memory. And if that parody gets shared thousands of times through memes, late night skits, TikToks, it becomes more familiar than the truth. Ask yourself this: how many times have you seen the spoofed version of something before you've ever seen the original? Shows like Robot Chicken, Mad TV, and even mainstream commercials have used alternate versions of iconic characters and lines. These become your mental reference points, even if they were never accurate. And it goes further. Kids grew up watching parodies on YouTube before ever seeing the originals. Their first exposure to Darth Vader may not be from The Empire Strikes Back, but from a cereal commercial. So maybe we're not glitching. We've just been spoofed into a different version of the truth.
If satire can reshape our memory, are we rewriting our own history through humor?
We've talked theories, timelines, celebrities, and scriptures. But now it's time to test your memory. Let's count down the top 15 Mandela Effects reported around the world. The ones that have sparked the most debate, disbelief, and digital chaos. Number 15. Houston, we have a problem. The actual quote is, Houston, we've had a problem. Number 14. Pikachu's tail. Many recall a black tip on the tail. It's entirely yellow. Number 13. We are the champions of the world. Queen's song ends without the phrase of the world in the final chorus. Number 12. Life is like a box of chocolates. Forrest Gump says, life was like a box of chocolates. Number 11. Hello, Clarice. Hannibal Lecter greets with good morning in the Silence of the Lambs. Number 10. In the 1979 James Bond film Moonraker, Jaws' girlfriend Dolly is remembered as having braces, which is now not the case. Number 9. Mickey Mouse. Some recall him wearing suspenders. He never has. Number 8. Luke, I am your father. Darth Vader actually says, no, I am your father. Number 7. Mirror, mirror on the wall. The correct line is, magic mirror on the wall in Snow White. Number 6. I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. The correct lyric is, I'm a Barbie girl in the Barbie world. Number 5. C-3PO's leg. Some remember him as entirely gold. He has a silver lower right leg. Number 4. The Monopoly Man. Commonly believed to have a monocle. He doesn't. Number 3. Fly, my pretties, fly. When the Wicked Witch sends her flying monkeys after Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, she says, fly, fly, fly. Number 2. Tinkerbell dots the I in Disney. Many recall this animation. It doesn't exist. And number 1. Kazam vs. Shazam. Confusion between Shaquille O'Neal's Kazam and the non-existent Shazam starring Sinbad. Did any of these match your memory, or were they all wrong? Let us know in the comments. Seriously, scroll down, type it out, because this is where it gets real. Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with this. What if the Mandela Effect isn't a glitch, a theory, or a mistake? What if it's a message? A reminder that reality isn't fixed, that truth is fluid, and memory is sacred. And maybe, just maybe, we're starting to wake up to that. These strange mismatches in memory, they aren't just curiosities. They're invitations. Invitations to question, to observe, to remember. Not just what's real, but what was. So now I'm asking you, not just as a viewer, but as a witness, what's the Mandela effect you can't explain? What memory do you know is real, even if the world told you it never happened? Drop that in the comments. We'll feature some of the most chilling ones in our next episode. And we're going to introduce a new thing called an episode poll. This is going to come to you at the end of every episode moving forward. Our first one, obviously based on the Mandela effect. So what do you believe causes the Mandela effect? Is it faulty memory? A timeline shift? A simulation glitch? Is it a spiritual awakening? Or something else entirely? Let us know. Put in your poll answer. And if there's anything else that you want to add, once again, drop it in the comments. And one more thing. You're not crazy. You're not broken. You're not alone. You're tuned in. You're seeing the seams. And that, my friend, is the beginning of awareness. I'm Mike, and if you've made it this far, you're not just curious, you're ready. So once again, stay curious and share what you know with those who are happy to listen. This is Existence Unknown.